Two people, same city, same income, same year. One is 34, $11,000 saved, a credit card balance that hasn't moved in 8 months. A persistent, low-grade feeling that money just doesn't work the way it's supposed to for them. They work hard. They aren't reckless. They can't explain why there's nothing left at the end of the month. There just never is. The other is 31, same salary, $93,000 invested, zero consumer debt, and something most people their age have never felt about money. Quiet, unshakable direction. Not because their income is exceptional, not because they got lucky, because 3 years ago they changed 4 daily behaviors and then let compounding do the rest. My name is Williams. What I want to show you today is not a motivational framework or advice you've already heard. It is the precise behavioral architecture that separates people who feel permanently financially stuck from people who almost invisibly are not. The gap between those two people is not 3 years of income. It is 3 years of daily decisions, most of which take under 10 minutes and cost nothing to change. Why effort without architecture fails? Here is the thing about financial struggle that nobody names clearly enough. Most people who are broke are not lazy. They work hard, they care, and they make reasonable individual decisions every day. The problem is not effort. The problem is architecture. Architecture means the invisible structure beneath your behavior, the systems and defaults that determine what happens automatically rather than what requires a decision. When the architecture is wrong, effort fights against it and loses. When it is right, your default behavior builds wealth without requiring daily willpower. If saving requires you to remember to transfer money at month end, decide how much, log into 2 accounts, and manually execute that behavior will happen inconsistently, life interrupts it, urgency crowds it out, not because you lack discipline, because you built a system that demands maximum willpower for a task that should require none. The person with 93,000 at 31 did not have more discipline. They built different architecture. And architecture, unlike willpower, does not deplete. Here are the 4 daily behaviors you should know. Behavior number 1. Automate the gap before you see it. Every financial system that works at scale shares one structural feature. The money moves before the person can spend it. On the day your paycheck lands, an automatic transfer should move a fixed amount before you open your banking app, before you see the balance, before any part of your brain registers that money as available into an account that is not your checking account, a high-yield savings account, a brokerage, a retirement account. The destination matters less than the immediacy. Your spending budget is then defined by what remains after the transfer, not by what arrived. Most people do the opposite. They receive their full paycheck, spend across the month, and try to save what's left. There is almost never anything left. Not because they overspent catastrophically, because spending expands to fill available funds. What you see as available, you spend. What you never see as available, you do not miss. The person who automates $250 per paycheck and builds their life around the remainder will, in 30 years at 7%, accumulate approximately $400,000. They will not feel like they accumulated anything. The behavior was invisible. The result was not. Set this up today, not this week, today. It takes 12 minutes. Behavior number 2, track the real number. Once a week, most people have a rough sense of their finances. They know approximately what they earn, approximately what they spend. That roughness is the problem. Rough awareness lets you feel okay while the actual numbers quietly move against you. No single transaction feels alarming. The coffee is fine. The dinner is fine. The subscription is fine. The sum of fine decisions produces an outcome that is not fine, and rough awareness never flags it. The behavior, once per week, on the same day, record your net position. Total assets minus total liabilities. One number. Track it week over week. When it moves right, what's working becomes visible. When it moves wrong, the problem surfaces in days rather than months. The brain does not respond to abstract future consequences. It responds to visible, present tense information. Your weekly net worth number is that information. If this is landing for you, take 2 seconds to hit the like button. It really helps the channel. Behavior number 3, apply the 24-hour rule to every non-essential purchase. Impulse spending is not a character flaw. It is the predictable output of a brain not designed for one-click purchasing and algorithmically optimized persuasion. The emotional drive to buy and the financial wisdom to evaluate operate in different cognitive systems. When emotion moves faster, the purchase happens before the assessment does. The 24-hour rule forces a gap between the two. Any non-essential purchase above a threshold you define requires a 24-hour wait. You write it down. You return to it the next day. Research shows approximately 70% of purchase desires fade within 24 hours. The craving is real in the moment and largely absent the next morning. Items still necessary after a night's sleep are worth buying. The rest are the ones that would have quietly drained your account. At one impulse purchase per week at $80 conservative for most households. The 24-hour rule recovers approximately $2,200 annually. At 7% over 20 years, that becomes $88,000. No income change required. Behavior number 4, pay one debt down fully before opening another decision. Consumer debt is the most effective wealth destruction mechanism in the modern economy, not because individual balances are catastrophic, but because the interest compounds in the wrong direction while your savings try to compound in the right one. A credit card balance of $8,000 at 22% APR costs $1,760 per year in interest. That is $1,760, leaving your net worth annually in exchange for nothing, no asset, no investment, the cost of having previously spent money you did not have. The daily behavior. Direct every discretionary dollar, even $50 or $100 a month, toward complete elimination of your highest interest balance before anything else is considered. Before the upgrade. Before the new subscription. Before the experience that can wait. Paying off debt feels less like progress than buying something does, but eliminating a 22% interest rate is equivalent to earning a guaranteed 22% return on every dollar applied. No investment legally available to retail investors offers that, and the person who eliminates $8,000 in credit card debt has freed $1,760 per year permanently, a $147 monthly raise that required no negotiation with anyone. Here are some actionable steps. You should take it a day before this video ends. Log into your bank account and set up one automatic transfer. $100 per paycheck to a separate high-yield savings account is enough to begin. The amount matters less than the structure. Do it today. The behavior set up today repeats automatically. The behavior you plan to set up later does not. This week, write down your net worth as a single number. Every asset minus every debt. No rounding. Set a recurring reminder for the same day each week to update it. That number will become the most important metric in your financial life, and you will begin optimizing toward it simply by making it visible. This month, calculate the annual interest cost of your highest rate debt. Multiply the balance by the APR. Write down that number. That is what you pay each year for the privilege of carrying it. Direct every discretionary dollar toward eliminating it before the balance renews for another 12 months. Going forward, apply the 24-hour rule to every non-essential purchase above your chosen threshold. The list of things you wanted and did not buy will tell you more about your financial psychology than any book. The money that stays in your account is the money that compounds. Before you go, let me tell you this. Go back to those two people, 34 and 31, same city, same income. The gap between them, $11,000 in stalled debt versus $93,000 in direction, was not produced by exceptional choices. It was produced by 4 behavioral changes, applied daily across 3 years. Automation before spending, a weekly net worth number, a waiting period before purchases. Debt elimination before discretionary expansion. None of these requires more income, none requires financial expertise, or a lifestyle of sacrifice. They require architecture, structural defaults that make the wealth building behavior the easy behavior, and the wealth destroying behavior, the one that requires extra steps. The person who feels financially stuck is not stuck because of what they earn. They are stuck because the architecture beneath their behavior points in the wrong direction. And architecture, unlike income, can be changed today. The person with $11,000 in stalled debt has the same 24 hours as the person with $93,000 and a sense of direction. The only difference is how those hours are structured. You now know how to structure them. And if you are getting something from this, consider subscribing. I make videos like this every week, and I try to make every single one worth your time. I'm Williams. I'll see you in the next one.